Chapter 43, Lin Moyu is too boring here. Wang Zihao chose the difficulty of hell without even thinking about it. In his opinion, killing one monster on hell difficulty would require killing 5 monsters on normal difficulty. Besides, he has great confidence in his combat power. The first place kid, even if you win the first round, don't try to beat me in the second round. Wang Zihao held a giant saber in his hand, which was his professional weapon. Hey, someone chose the difficulty of hell. Wang Zihao, level 16, Berserker. That's right, Berserker is considered a strong player among rare professions. The Berserker's continuous combat ability is good, and he should have achieved good results in this round. Xia Shui thought for a while, and she chose normal difficulty. Elemental mages are not good at melee combat, nor are they good at single-handedly fighting high-intensity monsters without a tank. So she chose normal difficulty, intending to win by quantity. As the third place in the first round, Xia Shui also received the attention of the examiners. In front of them, there is also a real-time picture of Xia Shui. When Xia Shui chose the normal difficulty, they all smiled knowingly. Xia Shui, level 15, Elemental Mage, a smart choice. Although the Elemental Mage has good explosive power, it will be very troublesome if you can't kill the monster before it gets close. Especially when the level is low and the skills are not complete. The second place in the first round of tests, Zhuamei chose the difficulty of hell. Zhuamei, level 16, Stalker. The examiners also paid attention to Zhuamei's choice. After she made a choice, she also gave corresponding comments. Stalker, as a rare assassin class, has a super close combat ability. So whether she chooses Nightmare or Hell, it's a good choice. Indeed, this is also a good seedling. I don't know what difficulty Lin Moyu's Necromancer will choose this time. Now the few people worth watching have made their choices, and only Lin Moyu is left. Lin Moyu had his own judgment after listening to the test rules. In this round of exams, the real test should be everyone's continuous combat capability. A battle that lasts for 30 minutes is a lot of pressure for any profession. However, except for me. A smile curved the corner of his mouth. Lin Moyu made a choice. I choose Hell difficulty. In fact, for him, the more difficult the better. No matter which skill he has, his power is top-notch. Therefore, the greater the difficulty and the higher the unit points, the greater the benefit to him. An examiner laughed and said, "Sure enough, I chose the difficulty of Hell." He is both a mage and a summoner. He is not afraid of monsters approaching with summoned objects. And his skills are very powerful. With summons, he can definitely achieve good results on the difficulty of Hell. Actually, those summoners who came to take the exam basically chose the difficulty of Hell. Let us wait and see. Outside the examination room, the principals of all major high schools in Jiangning province gathered together. Old Lu, you're going to post this time. TSK, 0.1 seconds, this kind of achievement has not been seen for many years. Of the top 3, you, Lao Lu, occupy the second place. You can't do it if you don't want to. One of you is going to make a big splash this time. If Lin Moyu can come back with a provincial champion, Lao Lu, you will go to heaven. Lu Yun's face was flushed, and he was very excited. He did not expect that Lin Moyu could achieve such a good result. I was so excited that I couldn't speak for a while, and my whole body was shaking. All candidates have been selected, and as the countdown ends, the second round of exams begins. A ball of light appeared in front of Lin Moyu. The ball of light is spinning in the air, looking like the entrance and exit of the copy. Then, a monster in armor walked out of the light group and let out a roar. With the thought of Lin Moyu, the skeleton warriors around him had already gone up to meet him. It's just a knife to the monster. At the same time, Lin Moyu's detection technique also fell on the monster. Wolf Orc Warrior, Elite, level, 13 power, 500 agility, 300 spirit, 150 physique, 400, this attribute. Very weak. Compared with the copy of the West Sea Mine, the monsters of the Nightmare level are much weaker. Lin Moyu figured it out immediately. After all, this is an exam, and you have to adapt to most people. If the monster is too strong, what is waiting is a large-scale elimination. In this way, the test will lose its proper meaning. The purpose of the examination is not to eliminate candidates, but to select outstanding talents. The knife of the skeleton warrior has fallen on the wolf. Flesh torn. With just one blow, the wolf was on the verge of death. The wolf was about to counterattack when the second knife fell. Worf the werewolf died tragically. 2 knives. Lin Moyu saw it, pointed his finger, and summoned a skeleton warrior. 2 skeleton warriors stood in front of the light group, one on the left and the other on the right, waiting for the monster to appear. 5 seconds later, the second werewolf appeared. Then the 2 skeleton warriors raised their knives and fell, and the wolf died directly. Too simple. After a few rounds he has figured out that for every monster he kills, a second one will appear 5 seconds later. This round of exams is about the continuous combat capability of each profession. The examiners were stunned. Why is Lin Moyu's summon so strong? It's stronger than any summoner's summoner we've ever seen. And there are 2 more. This profession is amazing. The skill itself is strong, and the summoned objects are also so powerful. This career is going to heaven. Lin Moyu's side is too boring. 2 skeleton warriors guard the light ball. The monster dies as soon as it comes out, and it can't survive for 0.5 seconds. The examiners no longer wanted to look at it, and turned to look at other professionals. Xia Shui held the staff and cast skills. The normal difficulty she chose, the monsters are not strong. Basically 2 skills can kill one. She constantly adjusted the strength of her skills, trying her best to reduce the consumption of mental energy. Although it is also a little monotonous, it is much stronger than Lin Moyu's side. Chapter 44, Talk much, they are going to eat sweet potatoes for you. Xia Shui's performance was unanimously approved by all the examiners. Wang Zihao waved his 2-handed sword, and chopped off the wolf head of the wolf in front of him. There was bloodthirsty on his face, and the corners of his mouth were even more arrogant. Berserker, as the name suggests. When fighting, sanity decreases, and it is very wild. This is on the basis of not going berserk yet. Once it goes berserk, it may completely lose its mind. I tried my best at the beginning, but I am afraid that the efficiency will be greatly reduced later. I don't know how to allocate physical energy, this needs to be strengthened. Compared to Xia Shui, he's worse. What the examiners value more is not how many you killed, but your ability to adapt to the battle. See how you can last for 30 minutes. Second, look at the difference in combat power between the beginning of the battle and the end. The real big battles tend to last for a while, and if you go up and go all out, then there may be no more. Comparing Wang Zihao and Xia Shui, I already have the answer in my heart after the test. Xia Shui was obviously better. Like Wang Zihao, Sui also chose the difficulty of hell. Compared with Wang Zihao's open and closed fighting style, Sui used the dexterity of the stalker class to the limit. She has a flexible body, constantly flowing back and forth, left and right, like a ghost, playing with the werewolf in the palm of her hand. And every movement is very straightforward, without any excess, without wasting any energy. The dagger in his hand is fast and accurate, and every shot can cause considerable damage to monsters. And she will use skills when applicable, control the Warfork warrior, and even interrupt its skills. Bring your current skills to a very high level. Sui's performance was also recognized by the examiner. After a round of observation, several examiners have already understood the situation of each candidate. There's also a standard of judgment in mind. Back to Lin Moyu again. The examiners were speechless for a while. This kid is a bit too much. I also think it's a little too much. This guy actually puts food in his pocket. What does this guy think? Is the sweet potato so delicious? Watching him eat it makes me a little hungry. Lin Moyu was eating sweet potatoes bite by bite slowly. He took out the sweet potato and put it in his pocket before entering the examination room. You can't use the storage space during the exam. What if you get hungry? Now the skeleton warrior was quick to blame. He had nothing to do, so he naturally ate sweet potatoes. Eating during big exams, first ever. Write this down and let his name go down in history. I think this exam is too easy for him. Do you want to make it more difficult? The examiner was so angry that Lin Moyu was so relaxed when others took the exam. However, this result is still far ahead. No matter what, the exam must be fair. Ning Xianfeng hasn't spoken since the exam started. However, it can be seen from his eyes that he is full of interest in Lin Moyu. This little guy is interesting. During the 30 minutes, people kept giving up, and some people were injured and quit. Continuous combat is a severe test for the endurance of every professional. This is not like a dungeon. You can take a rest when you are tired. Only Lin Moyu is fine even if he dozes off. Out of balance over time, finally, after 30 minutes passed, all the monsters disappeared collectively. It is finally over. If it doesn't end, I won't be able to hold on. It's scary. I'm not so tired after downloading a copy. Most of the people sat slumped on the ground, panting heavily. In just 30 minutes, their physical energy was almost exhausted. Xia Shui's face was also slightly pale at this time. For 30 minutes, she tried her best to control her skills, saving as much as she could. Mental power is also almost exhausted. During the big exam, the storage space is blocked, and you cannot use extra medicine to restore your mental strength. It's really hard. It's finally over. I killed more than 200, so that's more than 200 points. At this moment, Wang Zihao was completely paralyzed on the ground. When he got to the back, his efficiency was far from what it was at the beginning. A large amount of physical energy was consumed, and his skills went into cooldown, all of which caused his combat power to drop sharply. I killed more than 50 of them. This hell-level difficulty is really not easy. Among all of them, only Lin Moyu is in the best condition. He spent the 30 minutes like watching a play. This round of exams is over. A total of 522 candidates participated in this round of examinations, of which 278 candidates lost their qualifications to continue the examination due to injuries or voluntary abandonment. The remaining 244 candidates are eligible to enter the next round of examinations. Of course, you can also choose to give up. The next round of exams will be more difficult and more intensive, and may be life-threatening. Candidates are asked to choose carefully. Everyone is prompted at the same time, and can choose to give up or continue the exam. Keep going, the next exam will be more difficult and even life-threatening. If you give up at this point, you will feel unwilling. All of a sudden, many people were caught in a dilemma. The examiners all showed smirks. How many people will choose to give up this time? Based on previous years, at least 1/3 of people would choose to give up. This year's pass rate is similar to last year's, and almost 60% have been eliminated so far. A total of 632 main combat professionals took the exam, and there are still 244 left. It seems that it is difficult for them to make a decision. Give them another push and help them make a decision. At this time, the majestic voice sounded again. Even if you give up the exam now, your grades are enough to enter institutions of higher learning. Now I give you 60 seconds to think about it. If you don't make a choice after 60 seconds, the default is to continue. This sentence was like the last straw that broke the camel's back, completely breaking down the psychological defenses of many people. I choose to give up. I quit. I can't continue anymore. If I continue, I will die. Many students chose to give up. There are also more people who choose to continue. We have come to this point, what a pity not to continue.